Hey, welcome back to the Anti-AI podcast. My name is Clark. Unfortunately, today I am by myself as Iris is pretty busy recently, but I still think this episode is very crucial as there's been some pretty big developments in the AI space. So we're just gonna head over to my website and let's take a look. So recently, the Telegram founder was charged with crimes on his Signal app, or sorry, Telegram app, and this is a big deal, right? But has anyone ever considered what people use AI for? How many people have been violated with generative AI? But do you see Sam Altman getting any backlash like how Telegram did? I'm sure a lot of the same crimes that Pavel is getting accused of, ChatGPT has also committed as a platform crime, right? So we'll have to see how this story eventually shakes out. Another interesting one was how OpenAI manages to close $6.5 billion in VC funding from some of the biggest names in the world, giving them a huge market cap valuation. Even though AI is not on the news lately, you can see that Sam is doing some sneaky moves here, right? Of course, when you think the latest technology gets $6.5 billion in funding, no one blinks an eye. But you have to wrap your head in context of who is supporting it. Some of these players include Apple, for example, not to mention Microsoft from supporting it all the way since the beginning. Did I mention that they are also changing it from a non-profit model into a for-profit model? When you have investors putting in this much money, at some point they're going to ask for a return. And rather worrying about ethics as, how OpenAI originally developed and having guardrails, only two of the 11 founding members actually is still on board with OpenAI. To me, this just screams that they've sold their soul and they're willing to push AI to monetization at any means possible at the expense of everyday people, right? If you think about where all that money came from, it's the biggest VCs and technology companies in the world. Most of them earned it from everyday people like you and me. But would we see the benefits necessarily? Sure, you can argue that once OpenAI develops products, it could bring up quality of life for regular people, but in terms of direct monetization, the whole field of AI is out of reach for normal people. So I just wanted to highlight that. You can also check out his newest blog on super intelligence. He suggests in a few thousand days that could mean within a couple years. I recommend everyone give this a read as it kind of lays out his philosophy. And if you've seen any of the interviews lately, Sam Altman is pushing hard. He is not shy about what he wants to accomplish with OpenAI. He says that there is five stages of AI and ChatGPT is on stage two. Stage three is agents, where now you have personal AI assistants that can do everything that you need them to do at the touch of your fingertips, basically. I also want to mention how Google recently paid $2.7 billion to hire back one of the previous researchers, Noam. That's a huge price tag. Why would Google push something this hard if in one way or another they're not going to get that $2.7 billion back? Just makes you think, you know? All of these big monopolistic companies are doing a race to conquer the AI space. We don't even know how many billions collectively they've put into this concept of AI. And them being industry leaders means they set the precedence. And once the precedence is set, just like how nowadays people treat Microsoft as Azure, Google Cloud, Amazon Cloud as the norm for every app developed, at some point AI will just be so ingrained into our society that we will not remember a time where something wasn't AI based, just like right now, how every program is cloud based. It's actually funny to think that if you're not cloud based, what the implications are, right? I also want to address Meta since we're talking about big, large um, tech giants. There was this hoax on Instagram basically of people saying, as long as you paste this copy pasta, then Meta AI bots cannot scrape your information to train its future AI models. What I find funny about this is Meta shortly after literally addresses saying how even if you publicly declare that you don't want them to use your personal data to train their AI models, that it doesn't do anything. I don't see how people don't see this as the biggest privacy risk in our time. Like the way you communicate on all of the meta apps, be it Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, all of that is being fed to AI. Sure, it's like general info, but collectively, Meta has a pulse on the whole world, basically. And that honestly, it makes me sick to my stomach how we've let tech giants get to the point that they have. If not AI, then we just talk about control, right? Why does Meta get away with having access to our daily lives and then sell us junk? Not junk, but like the products it pushes by monetizing its platforms to be billboards that follows us around every single aspect of our lives. Why did we accept that as an industry standard? Just doesn't make sense to me. But no one else seems to care. So unfortunately, my voice will just be drowned in this ocean, I suppose. This one's a fun one. Gavin Newsom vetoes the SB 1047 bill, which is meant to be an AI safety bill signed off by Biden. And California has its weight it can throw around, but the reasoning behind it is just shocking to me. Basically, they said for technological competitiveness, they're gonna veto this bill as it hinders their ability to be competitive. Well, what that means is there are no safety guardrails if your governor basically says, in order for capitalism to win, we have to take off all potential handbrakes and guardrails and regulations just so the top 1% can get even richer. And something about that just doesn't sit right with me. Um, I get the idea of capitalism, right? But the whole premise of trickle down economics has been disproven. The bottom, 80% of people will never get to see the amount of wealth that the top 1% holds. And they can use AI to basically leverage that and stay in power forever, since generally they have all the money to keep investing and streamlining into new technology like AI, which the common folks can never touch, as these are quite capital intensive, as I highlighted. Like $6.5 billion is more money than, you know, some of us will ever even c conceptualize in our whole lives. And that just furthers the, class divide. In a dystopian future, the top 1% will control everything, from Meta, from Google, from Amazon to Microsoft to Apple. They own it all. You as a person will have no value, as once automation takes over, what value can you as an individual generate? We as a society is not ready for that, but no one seems to be challenging the current status quo. I'm not suggesting communism, but how will your kids be able to stand out in this type of society? I reckon this will occur within 50 years. Would we just all have to collect UBI? Would the society's morals just be completely obsolete when everyone has infinite time on their hands to do whatever they want? Like, if you snap these pieces together, the world can become very dystopian very quickly, right? And it's just sad that nobody pays attention to our cause. We're not trying to stop AI completely. We just think that more consideration should be put on the ramifications of being so pro AI, right? Innovation is good, but there has to be regulations along the way. But as is, it looks like I'm the only idiot in the world that supports my own cause. And I just rest my case. I hope you guys got something of value out of this. And I hope you tune in to the next anti-AI podcast. Uh, the world is becoming more and more complicated, but no one seems to want to do anything. And that's really sad to me. But last, I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, this is Clerk signing out.